All right, on the road, episode 18. As you can see, the playoff picture didn't change much from our loss to the Patriots, 20-10. We were running back up, so we're going to go back to starters. We have to check out this fatigue thing. Carr and Jacobs are still both fatigued, which I don't get. They've had 2 weeks off. It's time to go back to work. So on the road to Pittsburgh to get primed for the playoffs here, we need performance out of these guys. So we'll see what happens here. I don't know about this fatigue thing. This is a new one on me, but it's the only two players I've got across the board that have any fatigue problems at all. So I'm not. Maybe it's a glitch. I'm not sure. We'll see. All right, episode.
Tonight, from Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, it's Week 16 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Mitchell Trubisky and the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on Derek Carr and the Las Vegas Raiders. Oh, the cold weather certainly helping set the stage for what should be a physical primetime contest at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. Tonight, we've got a good AFC matchup on tap between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Welcome again, one and all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon Gaudin on hand alongside Charles Davis. And yes, the storyline here, the weather. Snow and more of it expected as this game continues. So how will that impact how this one goes?
Can these teams ignore the distraction and the strangeness of playing in a snow game? Because it actually affects the crowd as well. That big roar you get is often muffled when there's a snow game. And the second part, what's the footwear you got on? Does that fit the turf you're playing on? And how will it handle as things get a little bit slick?
And as the Raiders take over on offense, we get to see the man who has been the leader of this team for 9 seasons now, under center Derek Carr.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown pass.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
2nd and 2. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 7 yards there and a first down.
The Raiders at 12-2 now on the year. They were losers their last time out. Trying to get back in the win column, but obviously not an easy task here in a hostile environment.
Yeah, always tough to win away from home. But sometimes what you do is you use these types of games as bonding experiences and carry that into the contest.
Give them 12 yards that time and a Las Vegas first.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Carr's throw taken in by Adams. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Carr and Waller taking it in over the middle. Touchdown! Darren Waller with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Raiders will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
Could not have scripted it any better. And many offenses do script their opening possession on offense. They followed that one perfectly. Took the ball right downfield and scored, giving energy not just to the offensive unit, but to their team overall.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. He hasn't missed an extra point all season, and he won't miss this one either, and it's 7-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it concludes with a touchdown reception by Darren Waller. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it. Here come the Steelers for the first time in this game with their free agent signing at quarterback, the former number 2 overall pick, Mitchell Trubisky.
And there's a lot of good to watch in the game last week. He threw 4 touchdown passes. A little bit of concern throwing the 2 interceptions.
Yeah, and the 2 pick.
Yeah, you want the ratio really to be closer to 3-1 as opposed to the 2-1 that he had. But it is something to build on. They did get the win, didn't they?
Yep. 1st and 10 here for Trubisky and the Steelers at their own 25-yard line. Now it's Trubisky, eluding the pressure right. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
A look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. 16 carries, 87 yards.
And he's hoping to have the same type of game, but he's going up against the #1 defense in the league, and they're very good at fitting the run. So now you've got to think offensive strategy, maybe a little more play action, and try and find some people open downfield.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, Trubisky. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. They go play action. Trubisky. Here's Freiermuth again. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Well, it's impossible to see the Raiders and Steelers in Pittsburgh and not think of our namesake, the late, great John Madden, and the Immaculate Reception game, which celebrated its 50th anniversary yesterday. It was December 22nd, 1972. So this game, a nice little nod from the schedule makers, no doubt. And the Raiders have gotten a little bit of revenge in recent years. They've won 4 out of 5 and have a 17-13 all-time advantage in the series. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Now a toss play. It's Harris. He'll get this down to the 38. Christmas Eve here in 2022. A big slate today of Saturday games. But we will have, ready for this, a triple header of action on Christmas Day tomorrow. I think it's pretty safe to say we won't have a white Christmas in any of these places, however. We start with the Packers and Dolphins in Miami at 1 Eastern. Then you got the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles. And then finally, the Bucs and Cardinals at 8:20 Eastern in the desert. Plus one more for good measure on Monday. Once the family's all gone back home and Grandma's puttered out of the house, grab the leftovers and sit back and watch the Chargers and the Colts from Indianapolis. On 3rd down, Trubisky. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 17-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards. And now he's really knocking on the door for 700. That is career catch 699. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Quick completion here to Johnson. And the Steelers are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. First and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. Harris will score. Touchdown, Steelers. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up. Meaning, when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them. And boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
From the 35 on 2nd down. Carr. Oh, a nice spin. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. Here's Carr to throw. Man open is Keelan Cole, complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 27-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 24, Carr. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Devontae Adams. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Raiders have taken the lead. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good, and that makes the score 14-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
2nd and 11 now. Now it's Trubisky. Rolling to his left. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the first down marker. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
Setting up the screen, Harris. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And I know that one didn't work out the way they thought, but I don't think it was a bad time to call this play. You're thinking on 3rd down, you might possibly see some pressure. You might see a blitz. So they tried to set up the screen, but that one was well read, and they stopped them for no gain.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
First target, first catch, and a first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing on first down is Carr. That's complete to Moreau, the tight end. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Into the red zone, it's Carr. Touchdown, Raiders. Third touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning a perfect game in baseball, or are we cool to do it here in football, partner?
No, I think you can do it here in football. I think perfect game in baseball, that's its own category.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Could not imagine a worse start for that secondary, or let's face it, a better one for this offense. No chance they stop passing now the way that it's going. I think they're going to continue to press the ball downfield and hopefully reap the same results.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage. And the catch made by Hilton. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. He's got his tight end Freiermuth over the middle. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Looking to throw again, Trubisky. And his throw is incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Steps away to his left, and he wisely will throw that one away.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The Raider offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. Carr now on first down. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Meanwhile, Carr's throw pulled in by Renfro. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down. Here's Carr. And able to complete it to Moreau. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Again, they'll throw with Carr. Catch made, it's Moreau. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. Some great games coming up on Sunday, highlighted by a 1 o'clock matchup in Miami. A good test for the Dolphins as they'll take on the always tough Green Bay Packers. Excellent games in the late afternoon window as well. One being out in Los Angeles, where it'll be the Rams taking on the Denver Broncos. Then on Sunday night, wrap up your Christmas day with a great one in the NFC, the Bucs and Cardinals at 8:20 Eastern Time. In our game has been the play of Derek Carr that's led the way. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front as we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. Well, the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense has thrown at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. Here's Trubisky to throw. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Complete. It's Johnson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 41-yard line. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Nice chunky yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You can go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. The Raider defense strong on that one in coverage, and now it's 4th. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there, holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
To throw, it's Carr. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And he is going to have the Raiders first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Boswell for the extra point. And the lead will shrink to 6. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This one fielded at the 5. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number one because margin for error is starting to slip away. And now it's down to a one-score game.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. He was trying to clear the way, the big fullback. Instead, he gets a hold.
And you don't see that very often on running plays from those guys because usually they're the lead blocker. Normally, when he gets caught, it's in a passing situation.
Throwing now is Carr. He finds his man complete. That's Jacobs. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And this is going to be a Raiders first down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line.
I don't know about you, partner, but on 2nd and inches, a lot of the times I'm leery about the offensive guys thinking about taking a shot downtown. Instead, they just hand it to the big man and let him rumble forward for a first down.
Jacobs going to try the middle, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now Carr. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Now the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. The open man here, Renfro. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
Carr to throw for it on 4th down. And oh, he coughed it up, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. And the aggressive play call simply does not work out. You're on your own side of the field here. Punt it, right?
Yeah, I would agree with that. There's a time for analytics and a time for being aggressive, but not with this field position. There's also a time for good old football 101 sense.
Yeah.
Punt it away. Let your defense take over with better field position.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now, the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. Second down. Again, they defer to Snell. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The offense on third down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. From midfield now, here's Trubisky. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Max Crosby make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Even keeping the back end for extra protection on third down, they still couldn't prevent the sack. Now it's 4th and long thanks to a terrific individual effort on defense.
The Steelers send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And here comes Westbrook. A nice punt, but a good run back as well of 13 yards. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. What we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position #1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Throwing his car on 3rd down. And he'll find Moreau here. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Give him 30 yards there.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Cameron Hayward getting upfield to make the stop. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. And down to the 36-yard line here. 49 yards rushing for him now to this point. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Now Carr. Being chased out left. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And the Steelers are right back in this football game. I know it appeared he was saying, hey, give me the football, I'm open, but I don't know if that's a pass that he should have thrown there.
Well, I don't think we've ever met a wide receiver that doesn't think he is open or is about to be open.
True.
So when you throw your hand up in the air and tell your quarterback, hey, I'm available, he's trusting that you are. In this case, he was not, and it turned into disaster for them.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll make it 2nd down. Draw play, and it's Snell. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself,
but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Trubisky's throw complete to Freiermuth. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. And you can almost feel Trubisky saying, let's get to the line and hurry up. They'll throw over the middle, taken in. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 14. Now it's Trubisky. Dancing to his left. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so you can only go so far outside, and they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they used your boy over there, the 12th man. Sammy Sideline, right?
Sammy Sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport steak. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Here's Trubisky. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. They come up on a 1st and goal, and most likely 4-down territory as they... And that is caught. Touchdown. And they're an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final minute. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused because they still have some work to do?
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. So Carr and the Raiders now down 24-23, a little under 50 seconds to go. And they need about 35 yards to get in range for a winner as they come up on 1st down. Buying time to his left. Connecting with Renfro. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Throwing his Carr. Oh, he forces one there. It's a potential dagger as it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
And the Steelers set to take the field. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. A little clock management 101.
Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.
So for Pittsburgh, it's a good fifth win for them as they play out the string. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.